Hi, welcome to the Market Alert for Wednesday, the 2nd of November 2022. An important day today, as we'll see as we go through the Market Alert. But yesterday, Fed terminal rate pricing rises, JOLTS bounce ahead of today's FOMC. Bonds, stocks battered as good JOLTS print sends rate hike odds soaring. And this headline, we bounced, we squeezed, can we now melt up? Well, that's going to depend upon today's news, of course, which is the FOMC one. That's going to be the kicker today. Rates expected to increase by 75 basis points there. Also got the ADP as well. Depends whether that comes out higher like the JOLTS did during yesterday when it came out a lot higher than was expected. Let me just go back to yesterday. And there you can see the JOLTS openings forecast at 9.75 came out at 10.72, and that's what sent the market moving lower. However, it's already bounced back and is still incredibly strong. So it's going to be interesting to see how the market reacts tonight. If the only way the market's going to come down at the moment is if Powell went for 1%. But the way I'm reading the news at the moment, he may not even consider 75 with the economic data that's come through recently. So we'll just have to wait and see. It's going to be a bit of a guessing game, and I suspect the market will be quiet up to that point. But let's have a look at yesterday's activity, and we'll kick off with the Dow. So yesterday we see the market moving higher up, bouncing again off that 200 MA and above the 5 MA overnight as well. You can see how important these areas are when they're taken out. That said, over to the left here, we still got a situation where we could end up seeing this if the market can break the 200 MA on the downside. But at the moment, it's certainly lending support, and we've got these two fibs as well on the upside, plus this high here as well, which would offer a bit of resistance. But we've continued to move to the upside, and it's all green all the way. There's not a red bar in sight. It's a very bullish trend. It is certainly what we've seen from the 13th of October low is characteristic of a melt-up. Or a parabolic move, that's for sure, but we still continue to be 4,370 points higher, which is around 11% or more of the Dow, and continuing to do so. I don't know what's going to actually turn this around at the moment and send it south. I'm sure there'll be something that just comes out of nowhere that does this. You can see yesterday in the 30-minute chart that the JOLTS openings was enough to do this. But the market's bounced already overnight. We're just below the DP at the moment, the close. We could trade back down to the low and then Powell not do anything, and then we see the market just explode back to the upside, and then it will continue to do that till Friday. We'll just have to wait and see. It's a guessing game, isn't it? We don't know what what's behind it. Maybe this has been engineered to move up to here to bring it back down. So on Powell's decision, we'll just have to wait and see. In the German DAX, also moving higher, we're at 89% from this high, projected down and back up. So still sitting there at the moment, coming off the highs yesterday. But once again, we're not moving to the downside at all. In fact, from the 13th of October, where we've got this straight run, we are now looking at 1,300 points on the DAX. This is massive. It's a 10% move from the 13th of October. So less than 3 weeks. Or in just about 3 weeks, the market's put 10% on. So it's due for a correction. We'll just have to see whether today will be the catalyst that creates it. Yesterday, the market moving higher once more till the JOLTS, and then we moved back up overnight. We're above the DP, we're above the close, we're stronger than the Dow at the moment. And at the close, we've got the 50 EMA there as well. We've also got it at the 20, where the market's likely to get a bit of a bounce from as well. In the 5-minute chart for yesterday, you can see kickoff once more, 9:30, some news, market up, pulls back, and then just continued higher until the JOLTS news. And then we see this bringing the market back. I haven't done much on the trading front this week. The market hasn't been moving a lot until yesterday afternoon. So let's just have a quick look. 22.36, and that's recovering from a loss, because every trade I did to start with was a loss, a loser. 1.4 profit factor, and 62 there to 38, more or less. So not a lot this week, but hopefully today we'll be able to take advantage of an increase in volatility. There simply hasn't been much volatility over the last few days as the market waits for the FOMC. We've got the UK tomorrow monetary policy as well, with the rates going up another 75 basis points here. So we may be on the tipping point of another move to the downside. We'll just have to wait and see. In the S&P, also you can see we're at the resistance we looked at yesterday, sideways, but bouncing a bit overnight. Again, it's just waiting for the Fed, isn't it? JOLTS yesterday, as you can see, they're plain to see, but we were just moving up nicely before that. And in the FTSE, we continue to ignore the US and move to the upside. A nice move so far in this too. So let's just have a quick look from the low to where we are at the moment. We're up 516 points in the FTSE. Percentage-wise, not as much as the Dow or the DAX. Nonetheless, still moving to the upside there from here down to here. You'll see we're at 62% at the moment, and we've got the 200 MA at the 78 should the market go through the 62. 30-minute chart for yesterday, we kicked off straight away from the 8 o'clock cash market, pulled back a bit, and then have continued, and it's certainly a lot stronger than any of the other markets. It's nowhere near the DP, the close, and it's still closing above the 20 bar moving average there. And in the currencies, the GBP, JPY sideways, waiting to see what's going to happen to the dollar, obviously, inversely related. 30-minute for yesterday, not a lot to report there. You can see we were down. We had a bit of a bounce, then back down. Like I say, everybody's waiting to see what the Fed's going to do. The only thing is we're at yesterday's low at the moment, where the market's found support before. Meanwhile, in the pound, also sideways to lower. Got a couple of red bars there. And again, you can see we were moving up, no problem at all, up 100 points there until the JOLTS, which sent the US dollar moving to the upside. So let's have a look at that. US dollar yesterday climbing to the upside. It was down, and then with the news it moved to the upside. You can see this in the 30-minute chart. There's your down move, traded off the low of Monday there, straight up, and is holding at the DP at the moment. Again, this is certainly going to react to this evening's statement from Powell. In the silver market, up strongly yesterday, but got to the 1 p.m. fix, and that was monkey hammered, as you can see there. Also with the JOLTS, the dollar moving higher had an impact on silver, but once again is also sitting at yesterday's high there at the moment. Not yesterday's high, sorry, yesterday's close, which you can see there, sitting on that, and the 50 EMA. In the gold markets, also trying to move higher. And you'll see in the 30-minute chart it was moving nicely until the dollar moved in response to the JOLTS numbers, and they're sitting pretty at the 200 MA at the moment and bouncing off this area. Okay, I thought I'd keep it short and sweet this morning as we wait to see what happens during this afternoon when the Dow opens at 1:30. Tonight's news, of course, is not going to be 7 p.m, it's going to be 6, as the clocks are different by an hour at the moment. They go back to normal from Sunday. Okay, that's it for this one. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.